Welcome everyone, Dr. Mandell with you. This video is going to be really cutting edge material, very simple. Many hundreds of thousands, I would say millions of people worldwide don't even know that they're deficient in vitamin D. I want to go over 6 main symptoms that you need to watch out for to allow you to understand if you are deficient in vitamin D. Understand that vitamin D primarily is in cereals, Swiss cheese, salmon, fatty fish, butters, eggs, oysters, mushrooms. There's a lot of different ways to get vitamin D, but there's no better way than to get it from sunlight. But the problem is, as we get older, not all of us, or the majority of us, do not go in the sun like we used to. Particularly the summer months, we may go a little bit, but as the winter months come on, we become like ghosts. So let's move on right here. The first thing I want to talk about is hair loss. Let's just want to let you know that a lot of people with hypothyroidism, people with genetics, people who are under stress, they say they lose hair. There has been dozens of patients of mine that I've referred out to dermatologists. They've come back, they say you're shedding. Actually, the female over here, the hair is like coming out, and they're wondering why. And it's unusual that many of these doctors misdiagnosed vitamin D deficiency. The only way you'll know is through blood work, but it's easy to pick up because if they've checked everything and there's nothing else, the majority of time it will be directly towards vitamin D. So I want to bring that out to those people that are shedding, losing their hair. Make sure you get checked. Very, very important. Something that hopefully can help you by supplementing vitamin D. Fatigue. Very big problem. If you notice you're always feeling kind of tired, you're feeling, like you just want to sleep, or when you're driving in the car, or you're just sitting up at work, and you always have that lack of energy. You're wondering, hey, maybe I'm not getting my vitamins, maybe I'm not sleeping enough. This is a huge symptom of vitamin D deficiency. Excessive sweating, very common. You may notice that you're not doing anything strenuous. Your body's not going through anything to make it the metabolism burn higher, and you notice that you're getting hot all the time, maybe sweating, like you need to fan yourself all the time. Now, if it is hormonal, like menopause is one thing, but if you're not at that age, or you are a man and you are going through this, definitely something you want to consider vitamin D. About bones, we know that vitamin D works directly with calcium, although that's not what I was trying to push here. Studies that I've come across tell us that people who are deficient in vitamin D were 2 to 3 times more likely to have aching bones. It may be in the joints or ribs or legs, wherever it may be. But obviously, as you lack vitamin D, you will lack the assimilation of calcium and develop osteoporosis or fractured bones later in life. So obviously, that is something very important that you don't want to ignore. If you notice that you're sick all the time, you notice that maybe during those winter months particularly, that's a key, because during the winter months, there's less sun exposure. Obviously, it's getting darker, earlier, and obviously it's not the same as the summer months, but you notice that you're just getting the colds, getting the flus, and you can't understand why. Well, it's all about your immune system, and obviously vitamin D is directly proportional to that weakened immune system. And last but not least, if you're feeling under the blues, you're feeling depressed, if you notice that you're just not having the happiness, that those chemicals running through you, and you're just feeling down all the time, I can tell you, get on that vitamin D, because that can be the difference between happiness and depression. Now, obviously, when people are depressed people, they'll treat you for mental illness, they'll give you all these kinds of drugs. But remember, as we said, vitamin D is a sunshine vitamin for a reason, which is why people feel sad. And SAD stands for seasonal affective disorder. That's in the winter months, especially when the shorter days are longer and the periods of darkness seem to come over us. So if you're feeling down, definitely get on that vitamin D. I think that can make a huge difference. I hope that this information really will go somewhere, because listen, most people out there are deficient in vitamin D. I ask you to subscribe if you haven't. so you can continue to get our cutting edge information, our notifications. Check out my video here, Motivational Doc. Great cutting edge self-help videos as well as nutrition, as well as check me out, Motivational Doc, on Facebook. Any positive reviews, I would really appreciate it. Most important, continue to educate, stay proactive, and I wish all of you the best of health and many blessings. Bye-bye now.